So you're here for the full review of the new Exciton watch. I am so excited to do this review because I did my first impressions video a few weeks ago and this watch has been really well received. I've done a lot more research. Now, see, that video I hadn't done my full research and a few people highlighted a glaring mistake I made, but it's something you will rarely do, and this video is aiming to rectify that by being very thorough. So you're going to get to see a lot in this video. You're going to get to see I've got my new timegrapher. I'm so excited. I can show you how accurate this 9015 Miyota movement is, a bit of information about that movement as to why it's really popular with micro brands and why it, overall I think is a really good movement, especially at this price point. I'm going to discuss the future of this brand, really, what information I've gathered, which I'm going to thank Gary from I Like Watches effectively. I've been involved in the survey for the Mark II. I've given my feedback, and I'm also going to just run through a few basics which are very likely to happen for the Mark II of this watch. So this isn't just a review of a watch, it's a review of a new brand as well, effectively, and why that's exciting. So I look forward to sharing that with you in this video. So stick with me and you'll get to see all about this watch and what's to come. I'll see you in a moment. Before we get started, I must thank Brian, a fantastic subscriber who kindly has lent me his watch. What a lovely person. Thank you so much. What a treat to be able to enjoy this watch. I've been so careful with it. There's not a mark on it. I've been very, very careful because I know it's not my watch. So thanks again, Brian. Now, what I've alluded to in the intro is there's going to be a lot of detail in this video, and I hope to make it fun as well. So I'm not going to waffle too long. Let's get stuck into some information. So this watch, how much does it weigh? GPAS always helps us with this. The first bit of information is 88 grams, less than 100 grams. It's going to feel lightweight. Now we're going to need to get the Minch over, and he's going to help us with the dimensions. So we've got a case size, a case diameter of 38 millimeters. Lug to lug is 43.8, so call it 44. The size of the crown is nearly 7, lovely good big size. Thickness of this watch, or the height, is only 10.9, call it 11. And then we've got a lug width of 20, which is fantastic for easy strap changes. Dial diameter, which for many people they like to find that out, so it's good proportion to the watch size, 26.4. So it's a really well balanced proportion watch in terms of its design. Now the specifications as well, we're going to move on to the first thing, which is the glass, the crystal. We're going to use the diamond selector. Let's get this set to number 1 or 2, just so it's not too sensitive, and then we get a positive reading for sapphire crystal. Then we're going to move on to the bezel. That's 120 click unidirectional, lovely snappy feel, really precise, no rock, bounce or back play. These are all indicators of how well engineered a piece is. So people are fiddling with a bezel, and it's a good indicator of how well made a watch is, because one of the things that can cheapen a watch in terms of its feel, unfortunately, is a bezel feel. But this is really good build quality. And the other good thing is how smooth is the crown. It's a really nice smooth unscrewing. And this Miyota 9015 movement, high beat movement, has a lovely smooth winding action. Obviously it has a date complication. And the bezel insert here is ceramic. It's lumed as well, as is all the indices and even the date frame around there. I'll show you that in a little bit. I've done a time-lapse video, show the degradation of the lume. BGW9. And we've got 316L stainless steel case. It's all brushed. A little bit of polishing on the bezel and polished case back with a conversion chart of different measurements on there. It's good. This was designed by a scientist, so I think it's good that it's got that on the back. I just don't like the polishing. I think that's something that will be improved or changed in the Mark II, which is exciting. FKM rubber waffle strap, very appropriate and vintage style. Traditionally seen a lot on vintage Seikos from the 1960s and 70s, from what I understand. 62 mass, for example. So we have 200 meters water resistance. Exciton in purple on this beautiful dial, which is a lovely eggshell texture. Again, adding to the vintage aesthetic. And we have a signed crown with JF, which is the initials of the creator of this watch, the designer. And this watch has been designed by a scientist called James. He's, with the help of Gary from I Like Watches, has created this watch because he has contacts at Kronos in China. Maxi, the person there, they have created together, this is the Mark I. This is effectively the first production model of a brand new brand, and they made 100, sold out, sold at cost, $200, and that is effectively got the ball rolling, because Mark II will be on the way. I'll discuss a few details in a bit about Mark II, but before I waffle on for the rest of the time, let's talk about the movement, because that's the first thing I got wrong in the first impressions video, which I apologise for. I did correct myself, but some people got extremely upset with me. So to counteract that horrific bit of unprofessionalism, I've gone overboard. I've got a timegrapher. I'm going to be showing you how accurate this watch is using, there'll be approximately a 3-minute segment of me showing you how to accurately and create an average impression of a watch's accuracy. You'll see that shortly. How thorough is that? And here's some information about the Miyota 9015 movement. It's 24 joules, it's 3.9 millimeters thick, it's 28,800 beats per hour, has a Parashock proprietary movement shock absorption protection, which is effectively a spring-loaded mounting on the system for the dual bearings that support the balance wheel, which allowing for the prevention of any damage to that. Stated accuracy is -10 to +30 a day, and the approximate cost of this movement alone is $100 US. Now, to give a relation to 3.9 millimeters in height to that movement, what does that correlate to in regards to its competition, other high beat movements? Well, Chinese clone of the Sellita or the ETA, the PT5000 is 4.6 millimeters thick, the ETA as well, and the SW200 Sellita is also 4.6 millimeters thick. So it's a very slim movement in relation to an NH35 3 Hertz movement. That's 5.32 millimeters thick. This thinness, or low height in the movement, allows for it to go into a watch that can be made slimmer. Hence why this watch is only 11 millimeters thick, and it's a 200-meter dive watch. Hope that's been thorough. Let's check out how accurate this is with a 3-minute section showing how accurate this movement is and how I gauged an average of its beat rate per day. Let's take a look. Now, as this is my first time, it's going to be a little bit more waffly than normal, because I'm going to do a little bit of telling you what I've learned so far. I've done actually experiment with every single automatic watch I own, and I've got a real good hang of this, so I'm a little bit more informed to be able to share with you how to measure and give you a good overall average impression of how good a movement is. So this is a Miyota 9015. Now, the astute of you will notice that the lift angle currently is set at 52, but it's easy to look up what the lift angle, which again, that'll be in another video, what all that actually means. At the moment, I've looked it up, and for the Miyota 9015, it is 51 degrees. So all I have to do is go down to the lift angle, then that's ready. The beat rate is automatically detected. Test period, that can vary, but a lot of people say set it around 12, but the longer the better, you get a more accurate reading. So all we have to do then is, this is adjustable, and I'll be moving this throughout to show you it's good to get an overall impression with at least 4 different positions. So at the moment, this is dial up. A lot of people just do dial up, or for videoing purposes to make it look good, they have it like that. You could do it as many different ways as possible. The more data you get, the better and more accurate your overall impression of a movement can be. What we're going to do now is, all you have to do is, once you've set the settings, which is very easy, that's it, you press start. It's good to let this run through a few times. First reading on the left is the accuracy plus minus per day, how many seconds you gain or lose. The second one is amplitude. Again, another video, I'll go into more detail, but this to show the healthiness of the movement. Anything 270 or above is really good. Anything between 250 and 270 degrees is okay. Anything below this movement is not healthy, but this is seems to be a new movement that's very healthy. And the last one is the beat error, and that's literally 0. And you go up to 1 millisecond before you start to get a little bit concerned there might be something needing doing, like a service, for example. But this is absolutely perfect. So as you can see there, dial up 6 seconds a day. So I'm going to skip through the next bits to see if we can show you kind of an average. So I'll stop that, got crown up, start again, let it run through. As you can see, the watch's characteristics can change slightly when you move it into different positions. So we've gone from running a little bit fast to running a little bit slower, back up again to only +3. Again, this will fluctuate. All mechanical movements, they are very likely to fluctuate still. Stop that. Now we're going to move to what I say is my last of my 4 settings, which is crown down. So let's start again. As you can see, +5 a day. Amplitude still healthy. This is a very healthy, very good movement. And overall averaging not much more than +4, +5 a day, I'd say overall, which is very good. So now you've got an idea of, this is a good movement, it's accurate, it's got some good timekeeping. While we're on to the specs, let's show you the Lume. I've done a time lapse and I've done it next side by side with the best Lume I've got that's also got BGW9, which is the same as this, in my Oris Aquis, to show you side by side how it compares. It's just a time lapse to show you how quick an initial burst can be and how it can degrade quite quickly sometimes over a shorter period of time. So let's take a look at that. Now to get away from all that darkness, let's see this watch in some natural light. I've done a nice 30-second segment now for you to show you how nice it looks outdoors. I hope you enjoy. See you in a moment. So now you've got a good idea of the movement, the accuracy, the stats, the spec, what it looks like outdoors, all those kind of bits and bobs. This is the Mark 1. You can't buy it anymore. But the good news is this brand is evolving. Mark 2 is on the way. I really like this watch. What they're going to be doing for the Mark 2 is adding to that likeness. I love the spec of this watch, the design, the comfort, the aesthetic, the fact it fits my wrist so well, it's so light, the size of the crown, all the details, the specification. It's really, really well balanced watch in its design. But things can always be improved. And the improvements, which I like the sound of, are the bracelet, which is being designed, and I understand it's had a lot of work involved. An engineered bracelet with solid end links, that's going to be great. A dial without a date in it is going to be even great, adds balance and better symmetry to the design. That's really good. There's going to be applied indices, white powder coated indices, filled with Lume. Look white in colour like this. No faux patina here, which is good actually, I like that. And it's going to have either BGW9 again, but more layers of it, so it has a stronger and longer lasting glow with the Lume, or it's going to have C3, happy days. So either way, there's some really nice little changes happening, and I think as well they're going to be making the back brush so it's not a scratch magnet like unfortunately it is at the moment. But I'm glad they're going to be keeping the conversion chart, adds to the charm and interest, because this was designed by a scientist, so it's appropriate to have some reference to the creator of this piece. I'm excited about this brand. It's on point, it's vintage style, which is great. It's a spec monster, which is what people want, and the price, less than $300 US, way under £300, is absolutely incredible. And I understand Kickstarter campaign will be launched quite soon for this, the Mark II version, which is extremely exciting. Pardon the pun to Exciton, but I think it's strong, exciting things to come from this brand. And I know not everyone's going to agree, but that's what opinions are for. And I'm here just to share mine. And I have had this watch enough, and I've done enough scientific analysis and appraisal of all the aspects of it to garner that this is a really good all-around piece, from everything from the build quality, the movement, the design, and what's to come from this brand, and how much they care about the opinion of you and I, the buyers of these pieces, and how they can modify and adjust accordingly, and not just say, well, this is what we want to make and you're going to buy it. They care about what we think. And I appreciate you guys for watching me and caring what I produce for you guys, because the only reason why I do is because I love making content. I love looking at watches and sharing what I find. So thank you for watching, and I really hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I have thoroughly enjoyed making it. And thanks again for Brian for lending me this beautiful piece. And I want to guide you guys to go to Gary at I Like Watches. The link will be in the description to his latest video, which goes into more detail than I could possibly discuss about the Mark II, which is coming. Hope I've been thorough enough about this, the Mark I. And thanks again for watching. It's been a real pleasure. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.